Put my glasses on. We live, we live, we live. Yeah. What it do, yeah? It's your brother man from the motherland coming to you guys live from the NY, back with another one of that ROD pod. For those that don't know who I am him tunes the NBIC. And again, I represent the ROD, redeem or destroy. Want to give a shout out to you guys. Want to give a shout out to the ancestors. Want to give a shout out to the creators and to all the El Kebule kidnaps all over the world. Just know that your brother man from the motherland is taking the stand for you guys. Round of applause for that. Top of the top, I gotta come on in the AM to tell you guys about my little black friend here. Um, Before I even start, I want to give a quick shout out to the Wiz. I came home last night, had my favorite meal. Um, got some underwears and some undershirts, and then to summon it all up, what I'm saying, I got a phenomenal letter. you know uh I don't know, cars never meant nothing to me, but I guess when you dealing with the Wiz and what when you so intertwine with somebody, what they like, you end up liking, what I'm saying? So, shout out to that. But we're gonna have a conversation, man. We're gonna have a conversation, and the conversation is, if Jesus was sent not but to the house of the lost sheep of the house of Israel, then what was his business in Africa? And when I mean his business in Africa, what was the reason for the missionaries to bring such ideologies into the land and impose it upon people and enforce it upon children and literally cause chaos and destruction, crusades upon anybody that did not accept this so-called religion, right? So I decided to put a slide for you guys. I have to do that. And we're going to have a deep conversation. Did Jesus really come for Africa? Why was his name forced upon an entire continent if his mission was exclusively for Israel? Let's dive deep. First thing we're going to talk about is the target conquest. Let's start off with the contradiction. The contradiction clearly says by Jesus himself. Jesus clearly stated, I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So that means when he was alive and walking and talking and ministering, his only solely objective was to minister to the children of Israel. So how was this, and should I say, why was this forced upon us? Let's look at the expansion. The Europeans used his name to justify colonial expansion across Africa. Again, I'm going to ask the question. If he was sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, then why is he in Africa? Why was his mission forcibly infused upon Africans in Africa? I gotta say it in layman's terms because I see a lot of people don't understand what El Kebulan is. So let's talk to them in their language. Okay? It was forced upon children in El Kebulan, in Africa. The imposition. Africa became the primary target for aggressive missionary work. So you guys really don't understand the force, the aggressive force that these people came with. When these people came into your land and seeing how beautiful it was, remember, they came into your land under the guidelines of Christianity. When they seen how beautiful it was, how do you convert people into your story? you must first change locations and areas. You must, as you doing your exploitation, your excuse me, your exploring, you go looking around and you go seeing what you can find, and then you like, oh, there's a cave right there. We should name that Mambre, the city of Mambre, because Mambre had caves. So then we call that, and then people see it in a book. Eventually, in due time, it may not happen now. It may not happen with the original people, the elders, the OGs of that time. But when they die off, the next generation, the children, are gonna already be pre-prep for this conversion and this belief and this assumptions and insertions. And we're gonna tell them that this is for you, this is your book, this is your story. And every time they dive into it and they open it and they get on their knees and they call on these and they do these magical spells and they keep these satanic feast days and all of this satanic wicked 33-degree Mason. Hold on, let me pull it out for you. Let me pull it out for you. Let me pull it out. Let me pull it out. Every time the 33-degree Mason. You understand? And I lost my train of thought, but yeah, every time. 33. All these satanic rituals, every time you participate and you go deep and you dive deep into this ideology, just pay attention to who receives the riches of this world, while the other people who's solely spiritually invested are spiritually waiting for these riches of this world. You continue waiting. Let's continue. The spiritual subjugation, not salvation. Okay? The first objective is to remove your identity. Everything. And shout out to my son Biz. I think I gotta have my son Biz come on the show because he's very knowledgeable and have very, you know, in-depth understanding the same way that I do. And shout out to him for that. And we don't even be chopping it up on an everyday basis. But when the universe put individuals together, it's a reason. You know what I'm saying? And I think I gotta have my brother come on the show and talk his talk. And we was having this conversation as far as these people literally giving us something that's removing us from us. We're programmed to demonize and hate everything that is black. Think about that. Everything that's given unto you that is black, that was created by black people, is automatically demonized as evil. But everything that they gave you, created by them, they tell you that is righteous, is holy. They told you that it comes from the heavens. But the actions behind the story that they're selling you does not add up. You cannot say that this is righteous, this is holy, but yet there's more wars on your end. There's more bloodshed on your end, slavery on your end, colonization on your end, neo-colonialism on your end. And the list goes on and on and on and on. All of these things go on and on and on. You understand? So when I hear the foolishness that black people do as far as justifying Euro Christian ideologies or upholding it over your very own, I would never in my life, and I don't care what it is, I would never uphold Euro Christian ideology over El Kebulan ancestral heritage, customs and ways. I would never say, nah, that's evil, and lean on me when you is wrong and you need a friend. I would never lean onto that, bro. I just can't, because it's an insult to my ancestors. It's an insult to the creators. It's an insult. I don't care what you guys gotta say. It's an insult. Okay? Missionaries systematically strip ancestors of their spiritual identities. Give me that. You're not practicing that no more. It's evil in the name of Jesus. You're condemned. You're subject to hell. All of that came with their ideology. Remove that. Give me that. Cultural destruction. Ancient African traditions were deliberately destroyed and demonized. It was destroyed and demonized. It wasn't just it wasn't they seeing it and then rewrote and they gave you an English version of a so-called scrolls that no black man has ever seen. No, no, these are lies. These are lies. What they was doing, they was going into your shrines. They was breaking up your shrines. They was throwing away your statues. They was hijacking it, sending it into their personal museums, sending it into their research labs in the Oxford laboratories and all that. And they was just digging all the intel that they need. As far as copying and pasting, there was no copy and paste, bro. There was no copy and paste. If they forget, if listen, check this out. Look, people, if there was something as copy and paste, if there was anything of a copy and paste, right? Anything. If they took it, they stole it, they did whatever to it, we would still be able to pinpoint and identify everything within the land. We can't do so. People in the land don't even know what's going on. It's us, the outsiders, that's presenting them a story about Jesus, a story about the 12 tribes, a story about the Biblos. Because outside of that, brothers and sisters are still lost because their identity was stolen, or still lost, or still under the guidelines of colonialism, Christianity, Islam. They're still under that guidelines. But you're saying that this is our story. Trust me, us as ignorant as we are, as hard headed, as stiff necked as we are, believe me, we wouldn't need this to know exactly what's going on. We would not need this to know exactly what's going on. Our ancestors will be able to say, this is where your savior died. He was buried, he was lynched right here, right at this very pinpoint right here. It was right here that this happened. Not only was he murdered right here, he was hung right there. He was dragged right there. He was et cetera, et cetera. He used to live right there. His mom used to chill in this crib. We're talking about a historical figure as powerful as this man, as the story is told, the power of this man. Believe me, black people would never forget that. Believe, especially if this black man was killed by Europeans, black people will never forget that. Would never, ever, ever in life. No matter, listen, every time they try to justify this religion, it would justify even more reason why we should never forget it. But the fact that our people don't know, the fact that our people are unable to pinpoint and say, yeah, he was killed right here. I remember my great 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 grandmother told me that it was in this forest that they took him and they dragged him and they brought him here. This is the ship that he slept on. This is this. You're not finding none of that. All of this is not being found. You know why none of this is being found? Because none of this is actually true. Because the New Testament is literally a copy and paste of what? The Book of the Dead. Go get yourself a copy of the Book of the Dead. Sit down and read it. The Old Testament is literally the Book of Thor. And I forgot the oldest book. I have it in the truck. But these stories are literally, listen, people. If I'm lying, I'm flying. These stories are literally taken from the Egyptian rulership. This is why the Egyptian is on your dollar bill. See, these people are mimicking the Egyptian rule. This has nothing to do with being in Egypt again. These are lies. They are mimicking the Egypt rule because when Egypt fell, okay, and Caesar and Cleopatra and all of these people went into their space, started reading, had interpreters read to them exactly what was going on, they said, this is what we need to do. We need to establish our own personal kingdom, but we need the foundation. They come to the realization that in order to control people physically, you must first control them mentally and spiritually. First is spiritual, then is mental, then is physical. So you take control of these three primary roots, you control the world. So spiritually, they gave you religion. Mentally, they gave you their education. And physically, they the ones that's giving you the jobs. They the ones that's hiring you. They the ones that's determined if you meet the qualifications. It's not you, it is them. It's all by design. Let us continue. And then, let me not forget the false narrative. Indigenous beliefs were replaced with Euro Christian doctrine. Okay? Indigenous beliefs was replaced with Euro Christian doctrine. So your so-called understanding of humanity, of life, of the world, remember, like I told you before, is from the pupils of the oppressors. You don't have any connection of any understanding of this world when it's coming from the understanding from a viewpoint of a black man. You don't. You can act like you do, but you don't. Your foundation is of them, it's not of you. Sorry. Let us continue. The origins of missionary conquest. We start off with the 15th century. Hold on, the 15th century. Check this out. 15th century. Okay, the Portuguese missionaries arrive along African coast with explorers. All right, check this out. This all started in the 1500s. All of this nonsense that we was doing this thousands of years before these people arrived, all of that is lies. And check this out. I'm sick and tired of you black and brown people talking stuff that you do not know nothing about. Again, let me correct this and let me say this so I can leave this alone. For the last time, Christianity never started in Ethiopia. I repeat, Christianity never started in Ethiopia. Christianity never started in Africa. Christianity has absolutely nothing to do with black people. Okay? Christianity came with Constantine and uh, uh, um, mm, Abba Gurmison. Okay? This is the man that bought the Ethiopian Bible that you guys are reading. He wrote the entire 66 books in 14 days, and God kept the sun down so he wouldn't be able to, so he won't catch a heat stroke and die while he wrote all these so-called things down in 14 days. You believe these mystical stories. That's where that comes from. Okay? He was also a Byzantine king. Byzantine are in Europe. These are rulers and kings in Europe. Your Ukrainians, that's them. That's up there. That's where the Russia and that's where Byzantine come from. Okay, he denounced his throne to become a Christian monk following his cousin because his cousin had momentum in Ethiopia. And he went there and they said, listen, we're going to use this because we can use this to control and take over this land. And that's what they did. This was nothing to do religious. This has nothing to do with righteousness. This was all strategic. It was all strategic to take over the land. Okay? And the man looks like a goddamn Arab. Stop. Okay? And he's married, he's related to Constantine through marriage. You go ahead and you go do your homework before you guys keep jumping the gun and keep saying things that makes absolutely no sense, bro. I know the colonialism, you've been colonized. You've been your mental brain has been indoctrinated since birth with this lie. And you're gonna uphold this lie until some of you die. And I get it. But if you're going to bring forth an argument, bring forth the facts. Like I said, stop with the beliefs, the assumptions, and the assertions. Bring forth the facts. We don't want none of that. I speak on facts. I talk on facts. 15th century, this is facts. 16th, 18th century, Catholic and Protestant missionaries expand with colonial powers. This is facts. 19th century, scramble for Africa, accelerate missionary continent presence continent wide. all of this is strategic. Okay? 20th century, indigenous churches emerge alongside colonial Western influence. Indigenous churches, temples have now has become mosques. Temples have now become churches, house of the Lord, the house of Jesus, etc., etc. They literally came and took everything from you, stripped you naked. Now, the same people that stripped you naked, we're begging for clothes. And then when the clothes that they give us, we're saying, well, this is not the right shirt, or this is the right shirt. Even though it's black, we're going to make it blue. Even though the pants is ripped, even though they gave me a bad outfit, this bad quantity, we're going to make it work. We're going to improvise. And this is what I'm saying. You see the level that we will go to make something of that nature for real as true. It's the same action that we would have did if this thing was for real and true. But it's not. It is not. All of this has been a process from the 15th century. They came, they saw, they didn't conquer yet. They didn't conquer yet. Okay? They had to set up the stage. Oh, let's convert the king. King Alfonso was the one that turned the Congolinians into what they are today. King Alfonso is the reason why their ancestors allowed Leopold to come over there and violate. King Alfonso is the cause of that. It's a cause and reaction. King Alfonso is the cause of that. Period. It's ain't for no discussion. This ain't for no dispute. This is what it is. The minute we accepted these people ideologies and we started following their ways, we started keeping their customs and their feast days. These feast days are literally from them. This has nothing to do with you. These feast days is in line with the Abrahamic teachings. It has nothing to do with you. Nobody asks yourself this question. Well, Passover? Why is Passover, Easter, and Ramadan all in around the same time? And what does all three of these things has in common? All of them fall from the Abrahamic religion. I can't make this stuff up. Remember what I told you yesterday? Three's company: Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Christianity, Judaism, Islam. Remember? Remember I told you that yesterday? I know. Continue. Keep going down this rabbit hole. Trust me, it's gonna all make sense. It's gonna all make sense. All of it. Let me give a shout out to my bro, man. You know, he's still down with the Israelite nonsense. But shout out to the bro. Listen, he called me like 2 times, like, nah, I gotta check in. So, we end up chopping it up. Um, you know, word. It was a pleasure having a conversation. Shout out to him. Shout out to his whiz. You know what I'm saying? They bringing forth nothing but bare children on this earth. Shout out to them for that. He said he's gonna catch up to me. I said, hey, all right. But shout out to him for that, man. And just even in conversations like that, bro. And I'm like, damn, only if my brothers only knew that this thing right here, it's a lie, bro. Let me ask you guys a question. Who's making money out of this? Like every Bible that's sold, every Bible that's printed, who's making the money out of this? I'll give you guys some homework. Go do some homework and find out who's getting the PC of every publishing that comes out of the Biblos. I guarantee you where you know exactly where it's gonna go. It's gonna go to the Catholic Church, which means it's going to the Orsinian family, which means that this is part of the reason why they continue to rule. This is a spiritual thing. This is not this is this is this has nothing to do with with salvation. This is all about control, bro. There's no salvation coming from nobody. You can't receive salvation from salvaged people. Let me say that again. You cannot receive salvation from salvaged people. You may make it a make believe in your mind, but in reality, you cannot receive salvation from savage people. Okay, these people are savages. They know that. They come from savage, impoverished areas. That's why they go over and beyond to live luxury lives and beautiful homes and drive nice cars, etc. Because they know their origin. They gotta enjoy all of this now, reap all the benefits, and they should, as they should. Because if the roles was reversed, best believe it would have been us. But that's neither here. Let's talk about the hidden agenda. Let's talk about the imperial control, establish European dominance over African resources. This was the real reason for religion. It's all about control. Has nothing to do with, again, salvation. It's all about control. Okay? Cultural assimilation, creating civilized African loyal to European powers. You already know who the mass majority of Africans in those political positions, in those seats, are with the ideology of Europeans or under the neo colonialism, meaning they don't gotta be up under you to control you. They gotta just send one of your own. They'll send your very own to either make sure the rules is in place, either shoot your ass and unalive you, or just flat out just cause pure chaos in your region where you dwell and where you run. Okay, it's all part of the plan. I was going to show you guys a video of Africans in France demanding that Abraham step down for what he's doing to the French. I cannot make this stuff up. I cannot make this shit up. They're protesting. Africans. I'm talking about black like coal. I'm talking about black like the screen of my phone. These people black like this. Literally protesting. I'm gonna put the video. I'll put the video up on my shorts, and you guys can see it on the shorts when you watching black people protesting. The what they call it, resignment, the resignation of Abraham. Telling you, bro, we are all jacked up, man. Economic exploitation. You guys know this. Spiritual domination, erasing indigenous belief systems that unifies communities, that unified communities. Got to get rid of that. Because what does religion do? Religion divides. What we used to do in practice used to connect us. We used to come together. We used to dance. We used to literally embrace our each other's company, right? Like you're having a barbecue and somebody drive, like, oh, what's going on here? Hey, come through, come get it. That was us. That's naturally us. This behavior is naturally us. Okay? They took that away from you. They had to divide you. They had you believe in Christianity, he believe in Islam. Oh, you are a Catholic or you are Christian, but you are part of this denomination of Christianity. Or you are Islam, or you are Hebrew. Well, you're part of this Hebrew organization. It's even with Islam. You got two type of Islams. You got the radical Islams. I forgot what they call them, and you got the humble Islam. Those are the ones that you guys see majority of the time. But the radical Islams are the ones that will go from 0 to 1,000 and kill you in the name of jihad. Okay, okay. This is all part of the plan. It's never about salvation. Let us continue. Alkebulans, Africa True Name and Heritage, Spiritual Cosmology. This is where this comes in. Okay? Learning from your ancestors, learning from your elders. Okay? A black man. Okay? This is it. Natural medicine. That was us. The ancestors knew every medicine to heal us, and they still do. You know why we don't know it? Because we don't want to, because we want to be genetically modified Europeans. You still believe that if you get sick, all you got to do is just run to the hospital. Let me just run to the hospital. They're going to give me some medication. They're going to make me sign a consent form. Once you sign the consent form, you're literally telling them that they can do whatever they want to you. They can give you this drug. They can inject you with that drug. They can do whatever they want. You gave complete consent. You gave complete ownership to them. So they can say, hey, we got this new drug. Oh, but I don't know what it is. Trust me, trust me, trust me. Take it. And then you take it, don't know what's the outcome of it, right? All of these things that they giving you is experimental things. They always come to you. Oh, we got this new thing. Oh, we got this new. It's always new. I remember when I went to the doctor, I used to go with my mom. I used to tell my mom, oh, we got this new thing. I used to look at my mom, you're not taking none of that. You understand? You're not taking none of that. You want to lose weight, you want to get healthy, you eat right. You work out, you sleep good. You understand? You get a large amount of sunlight. You walk. Okay, just because we getting old, and I'm seeing a lot of us black people as we get older, we're getting more lazier, right? Oh, I'm too tired to go to the store and walk. Go to the store, walk, walk. It's needed because believe me, one thing for certain, two things for sure. Take we take for granted the little things like talking, walking, moving your hands. I hurt my shoulders, people. I still can't even function 100%, right? I used to be able to swing my son up in the air. I'm able to do it, but I'm not able to do it with with the velocity that I was able to do it because my shoulder hurt. And you really know, like, damn, I really can't do nothing with my shoulders. The little things we take for granted. But let us continue. Okay? Ancestral connection, continuous dialogue with those who came before. Okay? They came with their religion. They also came with their burials and their rituals on how to get rid of the dead. They told you have to bury them in a cemetery far, far away because that's what they did with Jesus. They told you that. In reality, you was never supposed to do that. Okay? Your ancestors supposed to be buried in your lot. All of them supposed to be buried in your life. Supposed to bury them in the ground. Not supposed to put no goddamn tomb on top of that. You're not supposed to do none of that. This is Euro Christian rituals. That's had nothing to do with this. You bury them in the ground. You know where they're buried, and you know sooner or later, if it's not today, it will be tomorrow. You will connect back with them. Okay. When they die, they go to hell. They go in the bosom of Abram. All of that is lies, bro. I'm telling you, it's lies. I know from personal experience that it is lies. My pops died. My pops refused to leave the house. My pops was still in the house. My pops was still in the house. It's because my mom was following this Euro Christian Catholic bullshit. She said, "Oh my gosh, he's here! I seen him! Oh no, oh no, no, no!" And then she called the voodoo priest. Oh, you know the one that you consider bad. She called the voodoo priest, and the voodoo priest did something, and then my father disappeared. Never was in the house again. Never. So when I hear you guys talk what you talking and you have no understanding behind it, it baffles me. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're believing in. You don't know what you're reading. It's not adding up to the people that's in the land. This story right here does not add up with this story right here. This story right here justify this story right here. You see, all of these books is on my desk. I keep these books on my desk for a reason. This story right here, you see the Freemason? You see it? Okay? You see it? You see it? Look, you see what it says? The Holy Bible. Okay? With the Masonic helps. Okay? Straight out of Oxford. Let me zoom in for the Oxford for you guys. Straight out of Oxford, just so you guys, just in case you guys want to say that I bought it from somebody. This is straight out of Oxford, people. Now, let these people tell you, Oxford is a credible source when it comes to research and understanding. This is straight from Oxford. So I don't want to hear nothing. Okay? Communal wisdom, social structures that prioritize collective well-being. These are things that we used to know. I remember my grandmother used to heal the entire community. See, my grandmother, I forgot what she had. She had a bad case of arthritis, so bad. My mom's got it, and I think she passed that joint on to me because when there's certain, like with my hands, that joint be hurting. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, had a severe case of arthritis. It was so bad. Like she used to get up and it used to be on her back. Now that I know what I know now, you know what I'm saying, as far as the health understanding that I know now, um, a lot of it came from the bad eating. You know what I'm saying? Eating the pork. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother used to love a pork, love a griot. You know what I'm saying? Love a bacon. You feel me? Used to eat that. Used to People don't even understand with the seafood. My grandmother used to love a crab. You know what I'm saying? All of these things was detrimental to the body. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody that I know that's like seafood lovers that love eating crab and stuff like that, when they reach into their mid 40s and stuff like that, all of them carry a limp. Like they gotta walk. Like they got some level of pain in their legs. I'm like, yo, what's up? And a lot of it is coming from the bad eating. We don't know who we are. We're not ourselves no more. We're not. We are completely detached from anything El Kebulan. Anything. We demonize our own. We look at Africa like a third world country. Even if we see movies and pictures and videos, still not enough. Still doesn't give us enough persuasion to go there. Africa, nah. But you'll go to Puerto Rico though. You'll go to Mexico though. You'll go to Spain. You'll go to France. You'll go everywhere as Europeans. You'll go. But your very own land, a land that your ancestors would die to go back to. Can you imagine the slaves coming from the ships and then the slave master say, all right, you guys, you free. If you want to go back home and travel, just make sure you come back. You think these people would have left and came back? People would have been ghosts. But that's not us. We want to travel everywhere but El Kebulan, and it's all self-taught. You're taught to hate yourself. You're taught to hate Africa. You're taught to hate everything that's El Kebulan. If it's black, I despise it. Some of you guys are gonna hate the fact that I got this black robe on. Some of you guys are gonna hate the fact that I'm speaking too much black stuff. Why are you always talking nigger stuff? Why don't he talk about Jesus loved everybody? Jesus don't love nobody but the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Reclaiming your spiritual identity. How do you do that? Research our roots. Just read. Stop going in there with a set mindset. You got to go open mind. Kill all the foundation that came with religion. Kill it. You have to go in there as a baby, like for real. Like you got to absorb all of this information because it's a lot. It's a lot. And yes, you're going to open up a lot of wounds. You're going to be hurt. You're going to be angry. You're going to be pissed off. But you need that because through that is going to help you get to that next level. And that next level for us is freedom. We did everything that we was able to do, or should I say we were supposed to do here in America. We generated trillions of dollars in this land. We did everything. We gave them sports. We gave them movies. We gave them music. We gave them curriculums. We gave them inventions. We gave everything. We gave our all to this land. And everything that you guys are seeing now is just watered down. You're not going to see any evolving of anything, of any kind, in anything, whether it's in sports, video games, music, movies. You will never see the greatness of it again. Everything moving forward is watered down, and it's because we've reached our max. We reach like, okay, we here now. We've been in church for 400 years. We've been doing this for 500 years, 16 since the 16th century. Okay, it can't get any higher. And they know that. So what they're doing is they're just gonna dumb us down and keep us in a low frequency. Because if you in a low frequency and their frequency is already low, but yours is lower, they're gonna remain over you. And that's just what it is. Just continue praying to their Jesus. Continue calling on Allah. Continue reading their books or lying and trying to associate El Kebulan deities with European ideologies, European cosmology. That has nothing to do with us. Okay? So you want to connect with the practitioners. You want to the ones that's practicing this. You want to connect with them. This is the goal. So if the goal is to get the bread right, go out there, spend a decent amount of time there. I want to go there and spend at least 6 to 7 weeks there, 2 months. I want to stay there. I want to go travel it all. I want to speak to everybody. I want to grasp all the information. If you out there, well, shout out to my brothers that's on WhatsApp. When I get out there, I need interpreters. I need interpreters. I need to speak to the people that has not been invested into the Euro Christian ideology. They are here. They're still around. They're in the bushes, in the forest. They're somewhere, and we're going to find them. These are the people I want to talk to. Do not bring me no pastor. Do not bring me no deacon. Do not bring me no elder that's talking about Kwam Yasharala. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear anything or anybody that's connecting or that's trying to make me believe that this story has something to do with us. That's not going to work. Okay? There's people in the land when I ask questions, they can't give the answers. And it's like, but you're in the land. How come you're not able to give the answers? If you're in the land and you're saying that Jesus walked in the land, where exactly did he walk, talk? Where was he kidnapped, dragged, etc.? Where was he where he turned Where was he when he turned water into wine? Where was the locations? Like where? I want to know. I want to know. I want to know where you reside. I want to know. I want to know if you're telling a lie. We just want to know. Not we want to know. And he don't know. And she don't know. So nobody knows. So nobody knows. Johnny John don't even know. You ask Johnny John where. The way that she be, you would have thought that she was there too. Show me where. Show me where. Show me where. Ele la Sabatani. This is for the Sabbath keepers. No, this is for you guys. Same for us. We're not Sabbath keepers. Mm-mm. We're righteous men and women following the ways of the universe, following the ways of the old, following the ways of our ancestors, following the ways of the creators. Yeah, you heard what I said, creators. You heard I didn't say father, I didn't say him, I didn't say anything masculine because all of that came from Euro Christian ideology. We know that. Even when you read this book right here, it tells you that. Right here. Yeah. And I got like I said, I got everything on my hard drive. All it is for me to take the time out to put it all together and give you guys a presentation like you see here. Okay? Practicing ancient ways. This is for me. Right now the goal is to start practicing these ancient ways. Definitely got to sit down with the practitioners. I need to sit down, but I want to sit down with individuals that's of age. I'm not trying to learn from no 27-year-old female or no 30-year-old man. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? When I was your age, I was already out here running, doing what I had to do. I'm not about to no. I want this wisdom, this true understanding of El Kebulan, and it has to come from the El Kebulan people. It has to come from the elders. It has to come from people that's been on this earth for over 60 years. Has to be. I'm sorry. Yeah. And of course, sharing this authentic knowledge. You got to share this. Share this. I share this to those that follow me on social media. Right? I share this to my moderators. I share this intel with them. Why? Because this intel is not only going to liberate their minds, stimulate their minds, but also give food for their soul. Because we're not eating right, bro. We're eating genetically modified foolishness, and this is why we're dying. We're eating so much processed food, we're literally dying in a slow process, or should I say in a fast process. We ain't moving like that no more. You understand? But with that being said, guys, it's your brother man from the motherland came to you guys live. Continue supporting, like, comment, share, subscribe. For those that don't know who I am, again, I am him, Junes the NBIC, and I am him, aka Mr. Keep My Foot on you heathens, Hebrews, heathenites, Israelites, Bantu Knights, and any other nice next that's coming out here trying to make us follow this disrespect. You heard? But I am him again. I'm a holla. One.